Welcome back into Sports Radio 810 for another KC Mavs Minute here. And we were with assistant coach Riley Weselowski, who you've been in town now for a little while. But what have you so far found about Kansas City that's to your liking? I know you've played here as an opponent before, but what's it like being a Kansas Citian?
Well, it's been great. I feel like I am a little bit of a Midwest guy. I've always kind of been smaller towns. I grew up in a town of about 600 people, so this is definitely a big city for me. But early in my coaching career, I spent most of my time at the rink and then just home to bed. So I haven't really done much exploring of the city. But happy to be here in Kansas City for sure.
So you're from Canada, small town, as you said, just
Yes.
barely across the North Dakota border,
Yes.
right? And so how did you find your love of hockey? I mean, I know if you're from big cities and stuff, everyone's got leagues and stuff. What's it like growing up in small town Canada playing
You know
hockey?
what? A lot the same actually, and a small town like that with 600 people would have its own skating rink, and then 4 miles down the road is another small town of 400 people, and they've got their own rink. And so within probably about a 20 to 30 mile radius, you have all these small communities, populations anywhere from 150 people to 600 people, and they've all got their own hockey rinks. And so for all those towns to have teams, pretty much every kid has to play. And so that's the way that it was growing up, is you just kind of just naturally everybody started playing hockey.
So you were from Hockey Town. I mean, that's what it was. It was hockey, hockey, hockey. That's the way it worked up there.
Absolutely, and in every sport, I mean, when you only have 8 to 10 boys that are your age, they pretty much have to play every sport just to have enough for a team. And so I grew up playing every sport, but without question, hockey was the main one.
So you come down here to a town like Kansas City, where the Mavs have had great success. A lot of people come out and watch it, and they really enjoy it. And there's a lot of kids who like to play hockey around Kansas City. That's kind of part of the outreach that the Mavericks want to do, is you want to get kids to love the game the way you grew up loving the game. What's that challenge like in a town where hockey isn't life, for kids when they grow up here?
Yeah, I mean, it's introducing it, I think, is a part of that, and that's a lot of people that they have no idea about hockey or what to do or how to get started, and that can be intimidating. And so in the summertime, I also run hockey camps as well. I've done that for 11 years, and I think just getting people involved at those young ages and creating opportunities for people to try it out, and local leagues and house leagues and things like that, where it's not that much of a financial commitment, and people can kind of get started, and then they find out that they love it. Because I mean, it's a great sport, and it's a great atmosphere. It's a great the team camaraderie type thing with being able to play a sport with 15 of your friends, and the things that you go throughout a season. And so it's just kind of getting people introduced and getting them started.
It can be expensive too. That's part of the thing. You got to have all the equipment. The skates aren't cheap, sticks, and they break, sometimes, and you have to have all the pads. What sort of a burden can that be for teams? You want to go play basketball, you go get a basketball, and you go outside and find a hoop. You got to get ice time around places like Kansas City. When there's a will, there's a way, I guess. But what is that challenge like for folks in towns like Kansas City?
Well, it is a challenge, and so there is programs in place to get the equipment, and there's ways to be able to get secondhand gear. And if you just go buy everything brand new, I mean, you're gonna really break the bank. And so there's ways to get involved with the equipment and stuff, which is a major cost. And then some of the house leagues, they don't have quite the expenses, because you're just playing locally at some of the rinks, as opposed to the travel and the mileage you can put on with that. And so there are opportunities for it, and you just have to find those opportunities and just start getting involved and find out if it's for you.
So you say you've done a lot of these youth camps, for all these years as well. Whereabouts in the country? You work yourself south. You've spent a lot of time here in America as an adult. Where does that all start, and kind of what's the feel been like when you try to introduce this to places that maybe aren't totally hockey crazy?
Right. Well, I started in South Dakota. I played in Rapid City, South Dakota for about 10 years. And so, I started doing my camps there in South Dakota, and, great following there, I would say. Again, a big challenge there in Rapid City, South Dakota is these, like I told you, we had the 8 towns that were within 25 miles. And so like when we had our league games, our furthest game was 25 miles, and we were upset if we had to go to that game because it was that far away. And then you go to a place like South Dakota, and they have 6 teams in their league. The closest game for these kids in travel hockey is 2.5 hours away, and the furthest games are 6 hours away. And so it's very expensive and to get into that travel. But it's just about having those opportunities for the kids that want to just do it for fun, because the majority of kids, that's what it's all about, is just doing it for fun. And so there's house leagues, and there are opportunities for that. And I think that's one thing that, you know, with the Mavericks and with some of these organizations in town here, is there are opportunities like that in Kansas City as well.
All right, let's talk about the team right now in Kansas City. What do you like so far about this year? You guys are just a few weeks into the season. It's a long season. What do you like so far about your guys as you build towards getting to the meat of the season?
Well, yeah, I mean, to be able to be successful, there's a lot of things that have to go your way during a season. But one of those things right off the bat is you have to have the right pieces in place, and you have to have the right players involved in your organization. And I think that's one thing that we have here. And so when I look down our roster, we have a lot of pieces that it's going to take to be successful long term in this league, and we have that. You know, starting the season off, I didn't like our structure. I thought that we were sloppy in a lot of ways defensively and just as a unit. And over the last 3 or 4 games, we've just made tremendous strides that way. And so we have a great buy-in from our group as well. And so I'm very confident in you know, the possibilities of this group, and it's exciting to see how things are going to play out.
It's good hockey too. I mean, you guys are, everyone in the league basically is affiliated with an NHL team, so this is a really high quality hockey that you get to see out there at Independence.
Absolutely. All these players have been the best players at whatever level they've generally played at throughout their careers. And so, you know, it's you're just going to see great product on the ice, and a lot of people that will go to this level and even the level up, there's not there's not that much of a difference between it. It is a step up, but this is very good hockey. A lot of these guys were the best Division I players in the programs they were in, and so yes, you see a great product on the ice, and it's exciting pretty much night in, night out. You're going to see a competitive hockey game.
Well, the Mavs put on a good show. I know that, and it's a lot of fun to go check them out. If you want to go get tickets, go to kcmavericks.com. Check these guys out this year.